Welcome back to the program, everyone. Welcome to Oblivion, as always. Hey, Jason, I got a knock-knock joke for you, buddy. You ready?
Yeah.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Tiny.
Tiny who?
Tiny fucked a stump! All right. I guess you have to have the special features to get that one. This week, we are talking about a 2003 movie that is a really, really wild fucking ride.
How about we skip the murder ride?
Hey, how about if we go?
You heard him, everybody. We're going to go. We're talking about House of a Thousand Corpses, once again from 2003. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
I'm Debbie Ann.
Oh, shit. Where'd you come from?
Oh,
Oh, hey, you're back. And we are the Cinebytes.
Hello.
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Want to play a game?
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
But sometimes that is better.
And we're back.
Hell yeah, we are. We are talking once again, everybody, about House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003, directed by none other than Mr. White Zombie himself, Rob Zombie. MPA rating of R, of course.
Yeah, I think barely. Also.
Barely, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been maybe either NC-17 or TVMA.
There was multiple push-throughs of this for them to review. It got NC-17, I think, 3 times
Right.
or so.
Runtime of 89 minutes on this one, not too bad. Our setting is Texas, I think just
Texas.
random, rural area of Texas. Our plot for this one, I've got in Soviet Russia, Firefly catch you. Thanks for chiming in with that laugh, Debbie. Good to see you back again for another episode. How's it going?
Glad to be back. Good.
Hell yeah. Let's go through our cast list here because this is a kind of who's who of the horror world, as is Rob Zombie's kind of penchant for doing. He assembles these casts of horror staples. We've got
hell yeah.
Ken Foray and some of these. We've got all kinds of names that are very recognizable in the horror world. So first and foremost for me, Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding is everything about this movie for me, personally.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. Me too.
Absolutely.
Jason, I know you have a soft spot for Bill Moseley a little bit.
I guess so, yeah. No, yeah, I got a
Good old chop top.
I got a chop top tattoo, but
Hell yeah.
I wanted to mention something about these characters before we go too in depth. So
Sure.
Everybody's got a weird name in this. And
Yeah.
everybody that watches this or knows about this series knows that, hey, what the hell's up with these names? So
Right.
They're all based off of Marx Brothers characters.
Right. Yes.
Rob Zombie is a big fan and actually
I am too, actually.
He was supposed to do a biopic. Is that how you say that?
Biopic, whatever.
So he was
I've heard
supposed to
both.
do that over Groucho Marx, which evidently didn't pan out.
Okay.
But that's why all these people are all named all these weird things. It's not just random.
Yeah, Captain Spaulding I recognize from a Marx Brothers movie. I recognize the name Firefly. I believe his character's name was Rufus T. Firefly in
Right.
one of those movies.
Yeah, Rufus T. Firefly. We got Hugo Firefly,
Mm-hmm.
which is Grandpa.
Okay.
Otis B. Driftwood, too. is
Yep.
Another Marx Brothers, so...
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Speaking of Mother Firefly, she's played by Karen Black. Otis was the name on Bill Moseley's character, by the way.
Otis.
We've got good old Sherry Moon Zombie popping up again as Baby here. I think she's good in this movie. I don't feel like she needs to be in as many of Rob Zombie's movies as she is, but
she shines where she shines, man. I
She
like
does.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really liked which one? Lords of Salem.
Yes.
That
Yep.
was a really good one.
That was a good one.
I started that movie somewhat recently and didn't get that far into it, and I don't know why. Probably because I had to watch another movie for the pod, so I gave up on that for the moment.
Right.
But I do know that I need to get back to that one. We've got Sheriff Frank Houston, played by William Bassett, Denise, played by Aaron Daniels, Steve Nash, they throw in here, Walton Goggins, he's one of the cops, which he was recently in that Fallout series on Prime, right?
Oh, yeah.
As the ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
dude.
it's good.
We've also got Jerry, played by Chris Hardwick, Bill, played by Rainn Wilson, a.k.a. Dwight in The Office. Tiny here, played by Matthew McGrory, who is sadly no longer with us. He had some complications due to his stature and, the different ailments he was born with, unfortunately. As always, I like to mention who did the music and the cinematography. Music by none other than Rob Zombie himself and Scott Humphrey.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of Rob Zombie music in here, and I feel like he's good with the needle drops and shit, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like shock rock guy, dude. He's like a new age Alice Cooper, so it's perfect for him to do this,
1,000%.
Yep.
Cinematography by Alex Pappas and Tom Richmond, which this movie's fucking wild, dude. Like, especially in terms of cinematography, they've got a lot of like negative camera footage that they throw in here and there. They've got like split screen shots going on. They've got split diopter shots going on.
Yeah, like almost like the transition shots. They do a bunch of weird ass shit between.
Bunch of crazy angles on shit all
Right.
the time. I feel like they had a certain style that they were pursuing for this, for sure.
Yeah, they're 100% going for a grindhouse film.
Oh,
yeah. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what they accomplished it too,
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, let's get into this thing. We open on old spooky Dr. Wolfenstein's Creature Feature show.
Wolfenstein. So I already got, there's going to be little things all over this. I love this movie. Rob Zombie was going to play this character
Oh, really?
and then got into makeup and he didn't like how he looked.
Okay,
And then they switched it at the last minute.
gotcha. I feel like they went with a good option otherwise.
Oh, he looks good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Channel 68's Halloween Eve movie marathon going on here. And after we leave Dr. Wolfenstein, we then go to a commercial of Captain Spaulding, his museum of, what is it, murder and mayhem? Monsters and mayhem? Madmen?
Museum
what the
of
hell?
Monsters
A whole
and
bunch of
Madmen.
M words. That's all I
Yeah.
know. Just M words all over the place. We've got,
Fried chicken and gasoline is the most
Yes.
important part.
right. The sign out front, fried chicken and gasoline. Hell yeah. So he points out in this commercial, they got Alligator Boy, they got the murder ride itself, and then don't forget to take home some of my complimentary fried chicken. It just tastes so damn good. But once we leave this commercial, we then cut to a cinematic shot now of the gas station. It's October 30th, 1977, and inside this place, holy shit, one of the first things I realized about this movie is the first guy that we have in here talking to Captain Spaulding. His name is Michael J. Pollard, right? This dude I recognize from an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. Playing fucking Cousin
how?
Virgil. Dude. Oh my god. Blast from the fucking past, indeed. But he's playing the character named Stucky, right? So he's trying to sell a picture he has of fictional actress June Wilkinson. But he's upset that his name is on it now. He got it signed, and she signed it to Stucky.
Right.
So he can't do anything with it now.
He said, ain't worth shit with my name on it,
Right. He says he was fixing to trade it to Jackie Cobb, and then Captain Spaulding chimes in with, "Oh, you mean that retard that hangs down at Molly's fruit stand?" Yeah, sorry guys. 2003 was a bit of a different time, but yeah, he specifies he's a horny retard.
Damn, aren't they all?
Yeah. He says he's worse than a rabid baboon, but he also mentions this trick that he does. Jackie Cobb likes to do this thing where he takes a sharpened pencil and he sticks it in his eyeball and he twists, right?
It's not really on his eyeball, though. It's just real close to it.
He says it's next. Right. Yeah. Exactly. There was another incident, unfortunately, where he had a Dr. Zaius from Planet of the Apes doll stuck up his ass and couldn't get it out.
I like it. It's a good start.
Boy, to be a fly on the wall for that event. Jesus. This is about the time where we notice someone is watching the place. We get a POV shot from across the street. And as Sheriff Houston, we come to find out later, drives away from the gas station, these guys kind of close in on the shop. So we watch the cop car leave, and then the score ramps up a little bit. Stucky decides he needs to go to the bathroom, and the key that Captain Spaulding gives him is on this big-ass, like, severed monster hand.
Oh, yeah.
He says something about, you bust that crap or I'm going to bust your ass.
Yeah. Pretty bad snake job last time, he said.
And as these two robbers, like, right before they bust in, we get a shot of Captain Spaulding, like, scratching his back with it.
Right. Yeah. The POV here thing is awesome, man. It's the camera, like, zooms from across where they were waiting, almost like they were running in, you know?
Right. So they bust in. Captain Spaulding goes, Mary fucking Moses, y'all get the fuck out of here. And they tell him to raise his hands, and when he does, he's got his middle fingers up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they kicked in the wrong door.
Right.
You know?
And the number 2 on the robbers here says something about he's going to blow a hole in his head the size of a Kansas City watermelon.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
They're putting off as uneducated, you know? It's funny as hell.
Honestly, it's terrible acting from these two. There are a couple of bumbling crooks. I feel like part of it is intentional and part of it is just their limitations as actors.
Right.
You know? But Captain Spaulding calls the leader the Ski King, which is fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's wearing a ski mask. Captain Spaulding decides to take the diplomatic route on this, and he says, how about you take your mama home some chicken and I won't have to stuff my boot all up in your ass.
Yeah, dude, he's being funny, but he's serious as hell, too.
Yeah.
Right.
He ain't smiling at him, you know?
It's funny that Ski King kind of squishes the chicken in Spaulding's hand and tosses it off to the side.
I hate clowns.
Yeah, dude, Cap does not like that line.
Yeah, he fucked up.
Not at all. But it is funny. He like shoots the ceiling to be threatening, and then it just falls back down on top of him.
I couldn't tell if it was
Douchebag.
intentional or not, you know? I think these guys
the ceiling falling down on top of him, that definitely wasn't intentional.
I think pulling the trigger. I think these guys are just inexperienced, terrible.
Yeah. He's trying to intimidate him, but it
thieves.
backfires on him is the point.
Right.
Yeah.
So he does a little countdown, Ski King does. And as he does, every time he counts another number, Captain Spaulding throws back another thing at him. First of all, he says, fuck your mama. And he counts down another letter or another number. He goes, fuck your sister. And eventually he gets to fuck your grandma. This is around the time Stucky recognizes one of these robbers as Richard Wick. Is that correct? Was his name Richard?
Yeah.
Because they call him Little Dick Wick, and he's got a whole ass song he sings about it. Little Dick Wick, you know,
Playing
whatever.
with his prick.
Playing with his prick. Don't his smell just make you sick? And
stop singing, I hate that song.
yeah, that pisses him off enough to take off his mask, thus exposing himself. And Captain Spaulding fucking laughs at that.
Yeah, points at him because he knows him.
Yeah. And at that point, somebody busts in behind Ski King and fucking axes him in the back, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Spaulding shoots the other one in the head, but then he walks up to the one that just got axed in the back and he fucking leans down a little bit, a little more menacing, and he's like, but most of all, fuck you. And he shoots him 3 more fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
As he does, he steps on him with his big ass clown shoes. These motherfuckers look nice, actually. These are like leather.
Get his suit off a bozo or something, you know?
Right.
It's like legit.
But he's not happy about that either. He says, motherfucker got blood all over my best clown suit. So now we go to the credit sequence, which is a crazy fucking sequence. There's just blood and tits and guts and gross.
Dude,
all over
I
this
love
fucking
it.
thing.
It reminds me of like Faces of Death or something.
Yeah.
They're doing like autopsies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like fucking around in somebody's mouth.
Part of that's got to be like some Dr. Satan footage.
I'm sure.
Some of it's got to be just the family fucking people up. Some of it is, you know, just random naked women because that's
pretty
a
sure
thing in Rob Zombie movies.
Pretty sure there was like a hearse driving away. It's a bunch of weird, fucked up, uncomfortable. You know,
everything about it is uncomfortable
right.
for sure. So when we cut back to our next cinematic shot, we get a truck driving by that's got like a God is dead sign in the back of it.
Which is, did that not, like right away, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, how so?
Well, normally, especially out in the middle of nowhere, you wouldn't, that's the opposite of what you would see. If anything, there's somebody driving by with a billboard on their truck that's God is great or something like more Jesus-y area. You know what I'm saying?
Let's lean into it because the times they are a changing.
Right, yeah. And there's no like right away, I'm like, you would not go, at least to anywhere in America.
Mm-hmm.
That would not happen. It would be the opposite.
I mean, you find some crazy shit in the back roads of Texas.
I feel like it's just more religion than not.
Yeah.
It's not the absence of religion. It's people pushing on, hey, where are you going to be when Jesus comes back? Kind of thing. So it was right away. It was almost like, that's an eerie feeling. If I was out somewhere, and I'm not a religious guy at all, if I was out somewhere and I seen something like that, it's like, serious fucking weird. It's not what America is like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So we cut to a car driving down a back road here in Texas, and this guy in the car starts talking about how some of these Manson chicks are pretty hot.
That was fucked, dude. I don't know if that was on the mind of anybody when that was.
This is two of our main protagonists here, Bill, played by Rainn Wilson, and Jerry, played by Chris Hardwick. They discover pretty soon that they're out of gas. Jerry makes another mention about, look, Squeaky Fromm, that's a girl you would date.
Yeah.
But Bill is more focused on the problem at hand. He's like, well, how much gas did you put in, Jerry? He's like, what, like $2-3, man? What, am I made of money?
Right.
Well, no, but you need more than that to get fucking
Across
anywhere from
country.
here.
Anywhere, yeah.
So Jerry mentioned something about him being Captain Caffeine or whatever. And he said, well, I wouldn't need so much coffee if you would drive. But he says, I don't have night vision, man. You know I can't see the lines on the road, whatever. Like, fuck off,
Yeah,
dude.
Jerry sucks, dude.
Yeah.
He's definitely the most childish out of the group by far.
Yes.
Right.
He's constantly like, even when he gets mixed up with the Fireflies, he's all about it, dude. He's like super into the show that they put on later. So Rainn Wilson gets out and he's like, well, I'm going to pump some gas, go in and check out the place, whatever. And Jerry's like, okay, Mr. Cranky. Jerry goes into the gas station and immediately comes back out and he's like, dude, you got to check this fucking place out. It's boss. He's like, how boss?
Wake up the chicks and break out the camera, boss.
Yeah.
Speaking of the chicks, the girls are sleeping in the back seat, and after they wake up, what was the other girl's name here? Not Denise, but
We got Denise and we got Mary.
Mary. Okay.
Yep.
So Mary leans over to Denise and she's like, all right, come on, Sleeping Beauty, time to go to work, whatever. And when they go into the gas station, Captain Spaulding's still cleaning up blood from killing the two robbers here.
Yeah.
And they start exploring the gas station. They're like, man, this place is awesome. Like, Rainn Wilson comes up. He's like, how long have you had it? And Captain Spaulding's response is, well,
How long's a piece of string? Too goddamn long. That's how long.
they talk about his John Wayne tattoo for a minute, and he like flexes it a little bit. He's like, circle up the wagons, program. But Rainn Wilson's like, well, I'm not really into Westerns. I'm more of a science fiction guy. That's when we get Captain Spaulding going,
Space boy.
But Captain Spaulding's patience is wearing a little bit thin. He's like, how come you're asking so many jackassy questions? And they're like, well, we're driving across country writing a book on roadside attractions, like all the little crazy offbeat shit you find on the side of the road, whatever. And Captain Spaulding goes, well, I don't drive across country.
Dude,
But supposing you did. But I don't.
Yeah. It's so tense here.
This is when it ramps up for sure.
Right.
Captain Spaulding comes around the counter and he's like, I know what your problem is. Y'all think us folks from the country are real funny like, don't you? And he's like, no, I'm not trying to make fun. And Captain Spaulding gives him like, I got you. I had you going there.
Right.
And he goes, you are such a bad clown. He was like, listen, man, who would want to read about all this bullshit anyway? And that's when Jerry walks up and he says, well, you'd be surprised. To which Captain Spaulding
Look around. Would I be surprised?
Yeah,
And
looks
then
around his shop with all the craziest shit you can imagine.
Right.
Yeah, like you see like Crocodile Boy and like some
I
like
would be surprised.
three-headed monkey or some shit. You know, a bunch of weird oddity stuff.
Right. But now it has come time to take the murder ride. And Captain Spaulding has this whole speech about where you're about to enter a world where life and death are meaningless and pain is God. Which Freddy Krueger might have a thing to say about that, but There's this weird split screen shot as they go in. I'm not sure why they did that, just for a more visual, piquing your interest a little more.
Like the doors split twice or something, right? Like
Not that the door split twice. It's just two screens side by side showing the exact same thing, just them being pushed into the ride.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It goes into that grindhouse stuff, dude. A lot of the stuff that they're doing here, the whole movie is Texas Chainsaw vibes. Mm-hmm. But all the grindhouse stuff, you get that gritty. They're throwing grit on it on purpose, you know. And that's what's weird too, is this movie didn't have a huge budget, but they weren't going for it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really weird.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's great though.
So our first stop on the murder ride is Albert Fish, real life serial killer. There's this like goofy dummy that comes out. Captain Spaulding explains that he was a child killer, most importantly a cannibal. I believe born in 1870. He enjoyed spankings with nail-studded paddles, which is always a good time.
Ouch.
Jerry starts to try to ask a question. And he's like, nope, shut the fuck up. Hold all questions until the end of the ride. They pass a representation of Lizzie Borden. There's one of Ed Gein. They say something about him playing with the dead bodies of women. We know he did a whole lot more than that to him. But he does his like goofy, like chatty skull thing again. He like activates the little thing. It was on a tie before, but now it's just on his lapel, and he like activates it, and he like imitates it. Like,
right. Well, I'll say this is the most important part, and I feel like they were really smart about doing this, throwing in these real life serial killers, and then throwing in Dr. Satan to go along with the story makes it more.
Well, in this universe, Dr. Satan is a real entity.
I'm saying for us,
sure,
you know,
right. Yeah. For our connection to it. Oh yeah, I know Albert Fish. I know Ed Gein.
Right.
I know Lizzie Borden.
Damn.
Oh, shit,
now
Satan
who the fuck's Dr. Satan? Right.
Exactly. Yeah. His name was S. Quentin Quayle, aka Dr. Satan. He was an intern at Willows County Mental Hospital, also known as Weeping Willows.
Yeah. For the never-ending cries of pain.
The torture endured in this place. Yeah.
Sick, dude.
The dude that is pushing this ride, like their cart through the ride, his name is what again, Jason?
His name is Ravelli. And he's actually the guy that acts Skate King.
Yeah, he's the one that comes in behind him. Mm-hmm. He's the one we see later, just before the cops pull up to the gas station. It's like he's just like a bloody ass clown.
He's like, so when I was looking into everything for this movie, his makeup definitely looks really weird. And I guess what they were going for was like eczema. Like he's supposed to have fucked up skin. He doesn't just have like we see it and it's like, oh, he's kind of red, kind of pink. Mm-hmm. They were trying to make it look like his skin was really fucked up.
For sure, yeah. And then the other character that we can call back to on that is Tiny himself, who kind of has like a Freddy thing going on because he was burned.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very similar.
So this guy, Ravelli, touches one of the girls' hair. I think it was Denise. And she yells she's like, Jerry, stop it.
Right.
So apparently we go back to the story of Dr. Satan. He believed that he could create a race of superhumans, and when they eventually tracked him down and caught him, they hung him from a tree right outside. Apparently this tree is no more than 500 yards from where they're sitting. Apparently after they hung him, his body was missing the next day. One note right here, Sid Haig is fucking amazing. Everything he fucking does.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love Captain Spaulding. I love Sid Haig. I love his portrayal of this character. His delivery, him as a host of this murder ride, as the tour guide. Holy hell.
It was a perfect cast. They couldn't have picked a better person for this role.
Yeah, I agree.
So the murder ride is now over. They run out. Jerry's screaming Dr. Satan over and over.
Yeah, he might live next door too. Whoosh, you.
And Mary's like, all right, so you think maybe we can go now? Bill says something about, well, it wasn't that great. And Jerry's like, well, you don't have to play it down in front of your chick.
Right.
Whatever, dude.
Dude, he kicks him right in the ass.
Yeah. Which is very Drayton and Leatherface, you know? So Denise, at this point, decides she needs to call her dad. She tells him they stopped at Captain Spaulding's. He tells her that the Halloween ball is on a school night, so they've decided they're going to trick-or-treat tonight. And then we have a nice little shot of the neighborhood that he lives in with everybody trick-or-treating and all that shit going on.
Halloween feel.
Yeah, we get a quick cut of Bela Lugosi on the movie The Wolfman. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that Bill Moseley is also the newscaster Lance Brockwell in this news report right here.
I feel like I've heard that, but I don't really know.
I'm pretty sure it sounds fucking just like him. It looks like him. He's just Bill Moseley wearing glasses.
Right.
You know? But he tells us about missing cheerleaders from Rugsville High School: Cindy Thompson, Karen Murphy, Allison Cole, Valerie Green, and Dawn Baker. Apparently, they were last seen 4 days ago leaving a football game. And from this, we then cut to the gas station again and a close-up of Captain Spaulding's shirt that says, if I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart.
Yeah. I have that shirt.
Do you really?
And I wore it underneath my costume, but normally when I always go as Captain Spaulding every year. I shave my head. It just works.
Yeah.
I have a beard. It works.
Yeah.
Before I started working with you, Dusty, I didn't have the full clown getup. I just had the pants.
Hell yeah.
And then had that shirt. But now I bought a clown getup to wear to work because I can't wear that at work.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I had that shirt.
Hell yeah. This is where Captain Spaulding draws Jerry a map to the tree where Dr. Satan was hung, apparently. And he draws it, and he's like, it's on you. If you can't find it, tough. Here's your fucking complimentary chicken. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. And Jerry's like, oh, hey, thank you, man. This is so great. You're going to get a great write-up for this. You know, what the fuck ever.
You thought.
The girls want to skip the tree. They didn't want to do the murder ride. They don't want to do the Dr. Satan tree. They're driving down the road. No shit. They encounter a hitchhiker who turns out to be
Baby.
none other than Baby.
Baby Firefly. And she seems fun.
She does.
You know?
Yeah.
She's definitely
She's
fun.
pissing off the chicks, though. You know? It's one of those things like...
It's because she's fucking hot.
Yeah,
These
it's
two
like
guys are all
jealousy.
about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, what do they say? Oh, it's a hitchhiker. We can't leave her out here in the rain. Well, if you're going to pick her up, you can put her up front with you.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah,
there's,
if you want to pick her up so bad.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
attitude immediately, you know?
She mentions to everybody, oh, I was just going home. It's just a couple more miles. And the tree is right by her house. And they're like, oh, you know where the tree is? And all of a sudden she's like,
What tree? Yeah. She's,
Like, what?
yeah,
the
she's,
fuck are you
she's
talking
already
about?
fucking with everybody, you know?
So we get a little cut here of this weird video where it's Baby. It's just a video of her saying something about there is no wrong. If someone needs to be killed, you kill him. That's the way.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of random ass videos cut into the runtime of this movie. We get the one later of like Louis Dover talking about this is hell.
Right.
We get multiple ones of Otis throughout the thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, we get like we get a Dr. Satan grave one in a little while too. It's pretty crazy, and it's just all part of that grindhouse. It's filler, but it's also it doesn't feel right. It makes you feel weird.
Yeah.
Everything's fucked.
And
you know?
contextually, it mostly makes sense, save for a few points here and there. But
Right.
but yeah, it's good. I like it. It's definitely stylized specifically. There's some dude in a weird bear suit that shoots their tire.
It's RJ.
It is RJ.
Yeah.
So this puts Bill and Jerry back into another argument of, hey, I told you to fill the spare tire before we left, right? He's like, yeah, I filled it. But
You son of a bitch.
what if, hypothetically, asking for a friend, what if I forgot to put the tire back in the trunk?
Yeah. Oh my God. I would be so fucking mad.
And Bill he's like, Jesus Christ, Jerry. He's like, well, technically I did what you asked.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, shit, dude. Yeah. I filled it. Fuck off. You know.
We get a little bit more with Baby being a fucking lunatic up in the front seat. She turns on the radio and starts dancing. She's just the freest of spirits. Somebody at this point says, I think it's one of the girls, says, for fucking sake, which I've never heard before. For fuck's sake. Sure, but for fucking sake?
Fucking sake.
I guess it means the same thing. Jerry gives a weird little Scotty impression right here, saying something about, oh, don't rightly know me, ladies. So they break down, essentially, and then Baby's like, well, we can walk to my house from here. My brother has a tow truck, so Bill and Baby end up walking off from the car.
Right.
And then we get our first introduction to Otis. And he's got this big, long diatribe of, why, you ask? Why is not the question. How? Now that is a question worth examining. How could I, being born of such conventional stock, arrive a leader of the rebellion? An escapist from a conformist world destined to find happiness only in that which cannot be explained. I brought you here for a reason, but unfortunately you and your sentimental minds are doing me no good. My brain is frozen, locked. I have to break free from this culture of mechanical reproductions and the thick incrustations dying on the surface. Oh, Christ. Fuck it. And then this is about the point that Bill and Baby arrive at the Firefly house at the front door. Now, we interrupt that scene for just a second. Baby tells Bill, oh, hey, check it out. out, these are my dolls stapled all over the fucking walls.
Yeah.
She's like, I used to chop their heads and arms off and stick them up on the wall. And she walks up to the front door. She says it's locked, so I got to go around. There's just a weird-ass bunch of dolls all over the front porch. It's creepy as shit. There's also a couple of lamps on the porch, which I thought was weird. It's just lamps. They're on.
Yeah, they're plugged in, but they're sitting outside.
Yeah.
I've never seen a lamp plugged in outside someone's house before.
I mean, is this part of that, I don't know, like different strange patterns? They'll have serial killers do really weird things.
Maybe. I mean,
because right away, like,
there's no reason or rhyme to anything happening in their fucking house.
I feel like we need to explain a little more. Like, we're not talking there's 5 dolls on the house.
No.
We're talking there's hundreds of dolls that are chopped up, and there's just arms, heads, whatever. There's pieces, and they're all nailed into this house.
Yeah, on the porch.
Be kind of drafty in that house from all the holes. In the, you know? Like, Jesus, dude, you fucked my siding. Thanks. You know. Yeah, you really can't see. I can't tell if it's siding. I can't tell if it's wood. There's enough things covering that this house just looks like
that you can't see
pieces
what
of
the
dolls.
original material was.
Yeah. Yeah,
For
no, it's
sure.
fucked.
Yeah.
It's crazy looking.
So
Bunch of pack rats.
as Bill is examining this and trying to take it all in, Baby sneaks up on him and scares him again. He's like, oh, God, you scared the shit out of me. She goes, you ain't seen nothing yet. Bill asks if her brother is ready, and she says, oh, yeah, he already left. He's like, what the fuck, already left? Goddamn, that was quick. And she tells him to come inside and get toasty. Jerry is sleeping back in the car with the girls, but one of them hears something happening outside the car. So they decide to turn the headlights on to see if something's out there, and then Bearsuit Guy, RJ, is outside and bangs on the hood. He hooks him up to the tow truck. Back at the Firefly house, Bill has now changed into overalls and a red checkered shirt and hung his clothes up to dry. So he goes, do you live alone here? I mean, just you and your brother? She's like, oh, no, there's a whole bunch of us around here somewhere.
Hey, Otis is upstairs messing around or something.
Yeah. Which it then cuts to him. There's a videotape of him just torturing these fucking cheerleaders, man. Oh, my God.
So, and it's crazy, too, because I watch a lot of these movies with my wife, you know. I don't know. I laugh at the most fucked up things. This cut scene with Otis, after she says he's upstairs messing around, I was dying laughing.
He's riding on top of
so
one of the other
he's
cheerleaders.
he's on her back. He's got like some kind of gag in her mouth or something, but he's wearing one of the fucking cheerleaders' outfits.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's having fun. It's making me laugh. I don't know. It looks crazy, but I'm like, dude, motherfucker's wearing a skirt. You know,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So we're back to Baby and Bill in the living room. She brings him some hot cocoa. She's like, you got to have the marshmallows. That's what makes it fun. She walks up and hands it to him in pajama pants with her ass hanging halfway out. Also, her shirt is like barely there.
It's an understatement.
Yeah. Literally, her ass is half out of these fucking pants.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yes, Sherry Moon Zombie's pretty hot, but that doesn't mean she needs to be in all your movies, Rob. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's brilliant.
What's brilliant?
He's getting a cut of the pay from the actress, you know.
Yeah.
That's like half. You know,
I
that's his
suppose so.
wife.
He also directed the fucking thing.
That's
He's
what
not
I'm
doing.
saying.
He's
Getting
not
paid.
suffering.
He knows what he's doing.
Okay. Bill looks up at the wall and he says something about, look, oh man, look at that moose. He must have been going pretty fast to smash through that wall like that. She goes, you sure are silly for a guy with glasses. I like that. And she takes them off and puts them on her own face and asks, how do I look? And actually, she looks pretty fucking good with these glasses on. Not gonna lie. Baby librarian. She plays with the straps on his overalls for a minute, and he says the cocoa's tasty. She's like, that ain't the only thing tasty in this house. Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is where we get the crazy ass cut scene of her with like
Yeah.
corpses and
This is specifically about Baby. She's, wandering around half clothed. And I believe after that video ends, Bill mentions, well, it's getting kind of late. And Baby says, don't worry, sugar. It ain't past my bedtime.
yeah.
You flirting with me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's sitting on him hard and he's resisting for sure.
Yeah.
Big time.
Finally, a horn honks outside. Oh, good, they're back. And then Baby's like, oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. Good.
Yeah, Jerry and the girls are back.
Mm-hmm.
And then right away, everybody comes inside, and Baby's ignoring everybody now.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
shakes her
hanging out.
back.
They're
She's-
hanging out in the living room watching Dr. Wolfenstein again. And, Baby's not fucking having it. She's
no,
not.
she's pissed.
She doesn't want to not be the only attention in the room,
I think she was reeling him in. She was hoping it was going to take a long time, but that was going to be her way of getting Bill tied up.
Right.
Was some kind of sex shit, you know?
Yeah. Denise pipes up. She's like, look, I need to call my dad and tell him we're going to be late. Can I use your phone, please? Baby just ignores the shit out of her, but Mama Firefly, Karen Black, walks up and says, we ain't got no phone.
Oh, I knew you were going to have a voice for her. I don't feel like jaw flapping to nobody around here.
And one of the girls says, oh, hi. The other one mentions, you really don't have a phone? For real? Mama says...
Mama said.
Mama starts playing with Jerry's head for a second and starts dancing a little bit. Baby rolls her eyes, and she goes, I had one back in 57. But
I had one in back 57.
I don't quite remember. See, there's nobody around here. I feel like jaw flapping at no more. Very, very Southern Belle going on with Karen Black here.
Well, it's funny because she ain't looking good, but she's got her tits pushed up and pushed out.
She got her makeup on.
Yeah, and you catch
her
Jerry.
Hair done.
She'd be perfectly fine if not for those fucking teeth.
Right. She's got her legs on Jerry, you know, and is kind of flirting, and when it cuts back, Jerry's staring down her shirt. You know? Like, so Jerry's into it, you know.
You know, it really doesn't take much to please him. He's a simple son of a bitch. This is where we find out that Mama calls the tow truck guy. His name is Rufus. Rufus Jr., Rufus T. Firefly.
Right. Or RJ.
But we call him RJ. And she
here
asks,
we go.
who are you? And Jerry pipes up and he's like, I am Qualsnard of the Crab Nebula. Fucking uber nerd.
Right.
He goes, but you humans can call me Jerry, as he like taps her thigh. And then Mary on the other side of the room is none too pleased by that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's pissed.
So Mama tells Baby to go see how RJ's doing with these nice folks' automobile. And
automobile.
She goes, meanwhile, why don't you folks make yourselves to home? And Baby like smugly gives Bill back his glasses. And Mama asks, well, what brings you kids out here? Don't you got something better to do on Halloween than wander around in the sticks? Jerry says something about, oh, I thought maybe we'd taken a hoedown. And Mama seems pleased by that. But then Denise points out, oh, he's just joking. And then Mama looks like genuinely offended.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, all right, motherfucker. Like, don't make fun of my culture.
We like a hoedown.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. She goes, oh, I see what's going on here. So sorry. So sorry to interrupt.
I see what's happening here with the penguin.
Proceed.
Yeah.
No, she goes, y'all just think you're too good for the simple pleasures of Halloween. And then Denise pipes in again. No, not too good, just a little too old. You know what?
Oh, hey.
Fuck you, Denise.
No, that's bitch ass Mary.
Oh, was it Mary?
That's bitch ass Mary that was,
okay.
Hey, how about if we skip the murder? That's bitch
okay.
Mary. Yeah.
Okay. All
Mary's
right, so
a bitch the whole time.
Denise is a little cooler?
Yes.
All right, got it. So she mentions just being too old. Listen, audience, I need to appeal to you right now and let you know, as a 36 going on 37-year-old man, that you are never too old for Halloween.
Yeah, don't take away my
if you don't want to be. Absolutely fucking not. I will have as much fun as I want for the rest of my life with Halloween and everything that surrounds it until I fucking die. I promise you. I will be the only 90-year-old person you know fucking still sporting costumes, still fucking...
Absolutely.
I love Halloween so much.
I feel like everybody listening is probably going to agree too.
You know, for the most part, probably.
Yeah.
Mama says, well, I hope something changes your mind. And then at that time, Baby comes up with some popcorn and says, Mama Tiny's home. And Mama asks about RJ. She goes, well, he went down to the yard to get a new wheel. And Mama says...
A new wheel.
A new wheel.
Yeah.
And Mama says it's probably going to take a couple hours. Fuck.
I mean...
I don't want to be in this house for another fucking second longer than I have to.
Right. And I understand their complaint, you know. But at the same time, I'm going, look where you are.
Yeah.
You're lucky it's only a couple hours. Who knows how far away that fucking yard is,
You
dude.
know, that's true. Rural Texas. Fuck that. There's that word again. Rural.
Dude, yeah. And if rural. Yeah, I've when I was touring with the band and stuff, man, going through Texas, it was like the first part when we'd get in there from the east.
Mm-hmm.
There's cities, but they're far apart. But once you hit West Texas, you don't see shit for for hours. You can run out of gas and be fucked out there.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, Texas is fucking crazy, dude.
So Denise has a solution to this. She goes, why can't Tiny drive us to a phone? And Mama and Baby just bust up laughing fucking hysterically. Like, Tiny drive you?
Tiny can't drive.
He ain't got no car. He ain't even got a bicycle.
Yeah, he got a bicycle. I love everybody's accents, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I feel like they fit everybody.
Big time, yeah. Mama says, even though you think it's childish, tonight is Halloween Eve, and to us, that's special. And she invites them all to dinner, and we get another quick video of the dead cheerleaders, which is always enough to brighten anyone's spirits.
Makes me happy.
And then they come back to the dinner table, and there's about fucking 400 candles on it.
Yep.
They all have masks at their places, and one girl says, I hope they don't expect us to wear these. And Bill just says, play along. The faster we do this, the faster we can get out of here. And then enter Tiny stage left.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He's fucking enormous, man. Matthew McGrory. I think he was also in Big Fish as the
Yes.
giant guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
It's
I
another
love
Tim
that.
Burton thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Big Fish.
Yeah.
It's a decent one. I would check it out if you get time. So Mama comes back in. She writes a note to tell Tiny to get Grandpa. And I would rather that she didn't, personally.
What, get Grandpa?
Yeah, Grandpa bugs me, man. He just rubs me the wrong way.
I love that Grandpa on the note is spelled Grampa.
MPA.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Literally. Right.
So
I don't know. You don't like Grandpa? Come on.
no, man. He's just so grating, and when he does his stand-up, he's just constantly fucking screaming randomly, and I can't. I just fucking can't.
See, I'm
with
feeling
man.
it. Grandpa's cool, you know?
Yeah, you guys, I think, both mentioned, like, oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts is Grandpa just going,
Love it. He's rude. He's obnoxious.
Yes.
He's saying everything that makes you cringe.
he's like Sam Kinison on fucking steroids.
yeah, dude. Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Sam... Dude, and I thought his shit was funny, too, but yeah, I'm not going to say that. Sometimes that
It could be a little
ear-piercing
much.
scream kind of...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Tiny leaves, Mama goes, well, you'll have to forgive Tiny. He can't hear so much. And she goes into this whole story about it, how it was his daddy's fault, Earl. He wasn't a bad man. He never hit me or nothing. But one day he just up and went devil on us all.
Yeah, Jesus.
Tried to burn down the house, said it was possessed by the spirits, and Tiny was sleeping in the basement when the fire started. She mentions Earl never meant to harm us, but
Yeah.
Tiny was badly burnt. His ears were destroyed and most of his skin.
Yeah, but he's shy and he'll warm up to you, especially the girls.
He's shy at first, but he'll warm up to you, especially the girls. The way Tiny shakes Grandpa awake right here fucking got me, dude. It's so good. Yeah.
Boy, he sits
Shaking
up
the
and like
fuck out of
yells
him.
too. He's like,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If somebody woke me up like that,
Yeah.
I would punch him straight in the fucking face. No questions asked. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
We do need to point out that Mama Firefly here says he's a real lady killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget that. Yeah, it's a big.
Well, she mentions him being shy. That's why he wears the mask, because his head's all burned, obviously. We
Right.
talked about him looking like Freddy earlier. Yeah, he's a real lady killer. We cut to Baby in her room getting dressed and putting on makeup. And she says to one of the cheerleaders, you're going to miss a good show tonight. I thought you kids were all about team spirit. I mean, you ain't done fuck all to cheer me up since you've been here.
Well, you know.
No. Well, you know what?
Well, you know, I'm saying, how is she supposed to cheer? She's fucking tied up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, a little tough to be
Maybe
cheerful.
some free popcorn for cheering would help.
Maybe,
You know?
maybe. That's a hard maybe.
Right.
But Baby starts giving a cheer. She goes, give me a B, give me an A, give me a B, give me a Y. What's that spell? She has to ask a couple of times. She fucking starts getting loud about it.
Right.
But the alive cheerleader finally answers her, and then we see another cheerleader laying on the other end of the bed, already dead.
Yeah, she's blue as shit.
They have like a real like Texas Chainsaw close up on her eye.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed in this part,
Dude, there's shout outs to that movie all over this one.
big time. Yeah, Rob Zombie's a huge fan. Obviously, the casting of Bill Moseley. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
need we go further? Honestly. Mama tells everyone to put on their masks, and is it her that says something, or is it Grandpa that says something about we can't very well eat our desserts with our everyday faces exposed? Is that still Mama?
That was Mama, and like I think Mary kind of, I'm not putting this on.
Okay, yeah, because then Grandpa pipes in, and he's like, look, she ain't gonna let us eat any of our fucking dessert unless you're wearing this damn
right,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hurry the fuck up. Yeah.
Just put it on. Yeah. Jerry asks Mama if she knows anything about the legend of Dr. Satan, and that's when Otis walks in carrying a jar.
Dude, and did you catch the name? There's a name for this
Leroy?
fetus. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. They all cringe, but yeah, the fact they named is
I mean, it's a baby.
Is that a stillborn baby in
guess.
a jar?
I
don't know.
That's the only thing I can make sense of, yeah. But Otis walks up and he's like, I know all about what you want to know all about. And Mama is truly surprised, it seems, that Otis decided to come down and join them. And she says, oh, you brought Leroy. She starts kissing the jar a little too much.
Fucking gross.
Yeah.
And Bill freaks out. She's like making out with this fucking jar. It's weird.
She's treating it like it's her grandchild.
No, she's not.
She's
You don't
kissing
make out
it.
with your grandchildren, man.
I didn't see any tongue. I don't know.
It seemed like she was giving this way too much fucking attention. Bill freaks out at this a little bit, and then Otis chimes in. He says, now, I don't know who told you about your fairy fables about Dr. Satan. And at that moment, they say they heard it from Captain Spaulding down the road, and he says, oh, that old bitch hog don't know shit.
I'm sorry, I was going to make a comment on your fucking commentaries again. I love it. It's so fucking good. That old bitch hog don't know shit. Yeah.
He says, Captain Spaulding tells his cute little tattletales to sell his junk, but he don't sell no Yankee boys no truth. Gramp asks if Jerry is a reporter for the Daily Asshole.
Yeah. What are you, Jimmy Olsen? Cub reporter for the Daily Asshole?
Otis is like, all right, listen, it's better if you guys leave here with your heads full of kitty cats and puppy dogs. And Grandpa says, well, no, they want to know the story, so enlighten them. Let's talk about this shit. Otis goes, I bet you'd stick your head in the fire if I told you could see hell. Meanwhile, you're too stupid to realize you got a demon sticking out of your ass singing, Holy Miss Moly, got me a live one.
Yeah,
yeah, they all join in.
They all join in.
One of the girls asks to change the subject, but then a bell rings and Grandpa says the dinner's over.
Yeah, it's showtime.
'Cause it's showtime, baby. Here we go.
Man, and this is where we get into the ridiculous ass
Dude.
stand up.
I
from
fucking
Grandpa.
hate this stand-up routine from Grandpa, man. Talking about eating pussy the whole way through.
So he might as well be like an Andrew Dice Clay. He's
Andrew
just,
Dice Clay,
he's just
Sam
offending-
Kinison. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
he's just
Yeah.
offending the fuck out of you.
He just keeps screaming all over the place. But then, thankfully, that ends. He introduces our next attraction, which is Baby. And Mama's running the lights. That's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
But Baby dances and lip syncs to I Want to Be Loved by You by Jason.
Yeah, Helen Kane, which, come to find out, is Betty Boop.
Yeah.
So,
Which, yeah, I want to be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And then we get the boop, boop, be-doop, boop.
Right.
And then that's the classic Betty Boop line there.
Yep.
But yeah, you said Helen Kane did the voice of Betty Boop.
yeah, for sure, because right away I said, that's a Betty Boop song.
Yeah.
I know it, and then, yeah, once we dug a little bit, and yeah, Helen Kane was Betty Boop, and that's just it,
So Baby starts singing this song. Jerry's jaw fucking drops, and
Oh.
Denise is pissed.
They're mesmerized. They cut back and forth between the guys with their mouth open.
Yeah.
And the girl
And the
staring
girls.
at the guys disgusted.
Yeah.
Which Denise has some goofy faces going on, man. If you guys ever watch this, please pay attention to to the shit she's pumping toward the camera there. Baby comes down and touches Denise's face, and she looks entirely fucking disgusted. She touches Jerry's face, and he looks turned on, or at least entertained.
Oh yeah.
And she touches Mary's face, and she literally sticks out her tongue at her. It's like,
Yup.
yeah, cool. Good one, thanks.
You got her.
Baby sits on Bill's lap, and Mary's pissed. She says to get the fuck off, you stupid fucking whore.
Yeah.
Baby says after she pushes her off of Bill, you shouldn't have done that. And she's like, what are you going to do something? She's like, yeah, I'll do something,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I'm gonna cut your
Holds a
fucking
fucking
tits
knife
off.
in her face.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I'll cut your fucking tits off and shove them down your throat. And I believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, she had a straight razor though too. It wasn't a.
Was it?
Yeah, she
I
had
thought
a
it was just
razor
a knife.
out.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it was like
Yeah, it was.
something for an old timey shave. Like, yeah, that's not even just a switchblade, man. That's she could cut your tits off, you know.
Mama tries to stop the whole thing. Baby is like, no, this bitch has it coming. And they're saved by RJ, unfortunately, as he comes in and says their car is done. And Mama says, I suggest you kids leave. And they do. They leave, and after they walk out, Baby's like, I love you, Mama. Mama says, I know, giving her a fucking Han Solo. They laugh like a couple of weirdos, and then outside, the other, like, our protagonists are like, oh my god, I think she was really going to cut you. Yeah, of course she was going to cut me. She's a fucking nut. And suddenly, Baby is outside the car, scares the shit out of all of them, and Bill starts driving, but unfortunately, he comes up to a gate that he has to stop to open.
Right. Yeah, everybody's yelling, why are you stopping? Well, we got to open the gate.
Right.
You know? Ooh.
So,
and that's maybe something that, I don't know, people should be aware of. You go into somewhere that has a one entrance, one out.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess you would never know you were in a horror movie. But
I mean, maybe the gate wasn't open or wasn't closed at the point that they came in. They tried to shut him in, whatever. But yeah. As he's opening the gate, one of the scarecrows comes to life and jumps down off the stick and starts beating Bill with a bat.
Yep.
And Jerry gets out to help, but the other scarecrow comes down off the pole and throws Jerry onto the fucking car. This one's fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yep. Yeah, the boys stand no chance here. There was absolutely no point that they started to take this over.
No.
They tried, but failed miserably.
Yeah.
They were fucked.
So the first scarecrow that came down off the pole was Otis. He takes off his mask at this point, and there's like a bunch of crazy quick cuts. The cinematography in this movie is kind of wild, honestly, because like as we're going through this scene, there's a bunch of like rapid cuts, and it really does a good job of ramping up the tension in this scene.
Yep.
And like I said, the other scarecrow is tiny. They break the window and pull the girls out of the back seat. And Otis busts out the windshield, stands on the car, and screams. He gives a little fucking Michael Jackson right
Dude,
there.
that's exactly what I said it was. Right. I said, oh, man, that's a throwback.
So we cut to Halloween morning, and RJ comes out of the house without a shirt on, but then he gets in a tow truck, tows their destroyed car away. And the radio program, they say something about rock and roll this morning with some Led Zeppelin. It being a holiday, the town is kind of like a ghost town around there, they say. And this is the part where Donald Willis, who is the father of Denise, calls Sheriff Frank Houston and says he's worried about her.
Right. Yeah, she never showed up from last night. She had heard from the call from Spaulding that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, she was supposed to be at his house around 11 o'clock, but they never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And the last they checked in, they were at Captain Spaulding's.
Right.
So Sheriff says he'll check around Captain Spaulding's and see if there were any accidents or road closings, anything like that. It was raining like a son of a bitch up here last night, so that's going to cover some tracks, unfortunately. But they're probably just stuck in the mud someplace. You know, I'll come across them. Everything's going to be fine.
Right.
There's a bunch of weird cuts here between cinematic footage and Super 8 footage, it looks like, and then pictures of them from last night.
Right.
Everything all cut together.
Oh, yeah.
Mary wakes up in a dunce cap, and she's all tied up, staring at basically the montage that I just described. Like, all of these things are in front of her. Like, there's still images of all this shit.
We get a close-up of her here, and it's, you see the dunce cap. She's gagged.
She starts freaking out.
Yeah, she just wakes up and starts screaming, and it's a POV of her face close up.
And Otis is like, shut your mouth from the background. He walks back in, he's like, I said, shut your fucking mouth.
Oh,
and he goes,
here we go. Listen, you Malibu Barbie middle-class piece of shit. You ever work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I ice cream to your friends on summer break.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't talking about no goddamn White Sox with Mickey Mouse on one side and Donald Duck on the other. I ain't reading the funny books, mama.
Right.
Our bodies come and go, but this blood is forever.
Yeah, it's blood.
Which I got to stop right there and address that, because if your bodies come and go, your blood ain't any more forever than your body is.
So I don't know for sure. I'm not a fucking doctor.
I just play one on TV.
But, okay, so you can transfuse blood. You can move blood around. So your blood is good until it's not good, like temperature-wise kind of thing, right?
It needs to be rejuvenated with oxygen regularly.
Right.
Sure.
So, like, is he getting at, like, hey, I can pull your blood and I can put your blood on somebody else. I can use your life to do this.
I
didn't
think of that at all.
But your body will die though. Like, so I could exhume you and pull your fucking blood, but I could use that to power another body as long as, right? That's kind of what I was looking at it as.
I mean, as close as they are to Dr. Satan, sure. I'm sure they're probably running those experiments.
Right.
I didn't get any of that from this, but
I'm sure I'm diving deep, but I'm kind of getting that the blood powers the body, and we can use this blood is forever as long as you keep it fresh.
Sure, I didn't buy it. I was operating on the assumption that like
he's just
your
nuts.
blood is a part of your body. Yes, he's just nuts.
Right.
Like if your body is temporary, so is your blood. Obviously. He mentions, all right, now I'm going to remove your gag, but if you so much as make a fucking peep, I'm going to cut you like a pig and make you eat your own fucking intestines. You got me?
Yeah. Oh, fucking God. Well, eat your heart out, Ghostface. That's so much more brutal.
Yeah, rather than gut you like a fish.
Right.
She asks, why are you doing this to me? And he's like, what am I doing? What? Messy up your day?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Bill Moseley's great. Speaking of Bills, she asks where Bill is, and Otis is like, oh, he's a great guy. He's been a great help to me. A real blessing. I couldn't have asked for a better specimen. Ooh, what the fuck you mean by specimen, dog?
Ooh.
This is where I kind of zeroed in a little bit on Otis's weird-ass sideburn, long hair that, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this shit, but it's trippy, dude. Like,
yeah.
It's like his sideburns are growing into, like, the length of the rest of his hair or some shit.
So here's my thought. They're, like, super broke, live out in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. I'm guessing he doesn't really get to shave too much.
I mean, probably not.
But, okay, so here's my thing is, we know as men, the more you shave, the more it grows back. So what if Otis couldn't really shave his just growing in all white trashy sideburns like that?
Like Joe Dirt.
But they're never like thick. They're never like thick though. So that's just
it's just like a continuation of his hair. It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
So Otis says something about, you don't know what kind of real dry spell I've had here. Total block. Total mental block. But Bill, he's okay. I really like Otis's burn this flag shirt he's wearing.
Right.
It's like a wife beater, but with that printed on the front.
Right.
We cut to some grainy camera footage of Bill. He's looking all fucked up.
See, I love this.
This is post this is directly after the attack of the Scarecrows. Okay,
right.
So after they got fucking whomped on by a fucking baseball bat and Tiny throwing him onto the car and whatever else.
I love it. He's tied up to the fucking wall, and they come in, and it's fucking party. They're party night. Yeah. It is party night, dude. Yeah. We get Brick House, and they're fucking with him so bad. They're throwing axes at him.
Yeah,
they're doing all this crazy shit, and then they just straight cut his arm off.
Yeah,
right?
while Baby is dancing to Brick House.
Right. They cut his damn arm off, like mid forearm.
And just below the restraint, importantly.
Right. And then he starts shoving his fucking hand in his mouth.
Dude. Yeah, he fucking chops Bill's arm off with a hatchet, and then this is about the point where it cuts back from that flashback to Bill taking, you said Mary, to finally look at the finished product of Fish Boy.
Yeah. And this is a scene that stood out for me. I'm into all the gross shit. Fish Boy grosses me the fuck out. Dude, it is the grossest shit I've ever fucking seen.
It's bad.
It's so bad. But yeah, Bill Moseley, before he pulls the curtain back, he yells, "Behold, Fish Boy!" And he pulls it back, and there's a gnarly fucking practical effect on this dummy. It looks fucking amazing. Every part of it. It almost looked like, speaking of Fish Boy, it almost looks like it's got barnacles.
Oh,
like,
dude.
The way that it's stitched together, the way that it's, oh my God, rotting away simultaneously.
I feel like Dwight. What is his his actual name?
Bill.
In real life.
Bill. Rainn
Wilson. I feel like Rainn Wilson's body was in this scene still. Like, there's no way that they duplicated it so well. Like, half of his body was stuck into a cast.
It looks so fucking good.
It's nasty though.
Yeah.
It's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
It's so gross. He's fucking half mermaid.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
She, Mary that is, says, this can't be real. And he says, oh, it's real, mama.
Me too.
And he says, because I want it to be. And he kisses her.
Yeah.
Much like Squints, he kissed her long and he kissed her good. So we cut to a bloody clown holding balloons outside of the gas station as a couple of cops pull up. And like you said earlier, this is Ravelli, the bloody clown out front.
Yeah. He looks kind of clowny. He's got this giant ass mask on.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I mean,
It's like
that's really the extent of the clownage, but he's also covered in fucking blood.
Right.
Probably from the other night when they killed those two robbers.
So I feel like it's the fucked up skin issue I was talking about. Like they were aiming for something and it just didn't hit right.
Yeah. So I love that the marquee at Captain Spaulding says gas, food, murder.
Right.
This is where we're introduced to Sheriff Wydell and Walton Goggins playing the other cop here, Steve Nash. And that was the guy that, I feel like I should have known when he came up, but like all of a sudden everyone was talking about Walton Goggins toward the beginning of this year. And it was because of the Fallout series releasing on Prime.
Right.
And it was fucking great. I watched it. It was amazing. But I didn't know what the fuck a Walton Goggins was. So I was asking people like what the deal was. Like part of the half the answers that I got was, oh, he was fucking Steve Nash in House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003. I was like, oh shit, all right. Because we had that movie on the schedule.
Right.
But I hadn't really dug too much into it. But yeah, he delivers a fantastic performance in this role, I feel like.
He's all over the place too. Like I said, the Fallout stuff that got me. So number one, he's a great actor, but
yeah,
him being a ghoul in this movie, he's like missing his nose. And I said, how in the hell do they do that?
In Fallout?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, how the hell do they do this? Because it's just flat.
Yeah.
But obviously, I know you're not into biker stuff, but
I could be if the price is right.
He was also in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
And he was he was like a transvestite.
Probably
or
half
something.
of what I'm missing right now,
Really?
which is why people are so
shit.
vehement to talk about this.
Yeah, he's in Sons of Anarchy and he's a transvestite, and
Okay.
like one of the bikers is into some weird stuff, and for some reason they come across him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, obviously you can tell it's him, but he's got like a chick body. There's a big, huge fake tits. It's strange. You know?
Okay.
But it's funny because, like I said, he plays that role spot on, dude. He's a good actor.
That's the second time you've brought up Sons of Anarchy. I think when we were talking about our Get Out episode, you mentioned
Somebody else.
Stephen
was,
Root was a character in that got his eyes stabbed out or something like that.
I don't know.
Something specific about his eyes, because ironically enough, I mentioned he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou as the blind guy that signed the Soggy Bottom Boys and recorded them, but he was also the blind guy in Get Out that
Root.
Stephen Root. He was the one that bought Chris, the main character in Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there was like this
Yeah,
weird
holy
parallel.
shit.
There was this weird parallel with Stephen Root and eye trauma, which has been a big deal in the Cinebytes from fucking episode 1.
Stephen Root was in Sons of Anarchy and went to jail for something.
Yeah.
And wouldn't rat on anybody, and they stabbed his eyes out in jail because they wouldn't give him the information that they wanted.
Right.
So he was blind there. Yeah.
But why is he popping up in all this shit and
the
something
eye
is
trauma.
happening with his eyes every fucking
eye
time?
trauma,
It's
yeah.
weird. It's weird. So the cops come into this gas station and they start fucking ringing the bell. Sheriff Wydell just can't stop ringing this fucking bell. And Captain Spaulding yells out from the back, "Whoever's jerking off on that bell out there better be gone by the time I come out or I'm going to rip your nuts off." And he comes out.
Oh, hi, Sheriff.
Yeah, immediately confronted by cops while he's wearing a shirt that says "Pigs is beautiful" and has a fucking pig wearing a fucking cop hat.
Mm-hmm.
But he puts on a friendly face when he sees these cops. He says, "I ain't fired up the birds yet, if that's what y'all's been ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding about."
Like it's a donut shop.
Yeah. And Sheriff Wydell says, "I just need you to answer some questions about some missing kids." And he says, "Well, I don't know nothing about nothing. I just mind my own business." And Sheriff Wydell asks if he's seen this girl in the last 24 hours. And he looks at the picture and he says, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I seen her, but she ain't my type. I like them with a little more meat on them. The bigger the cushion, the sweeter the push," and he says.
Snorting. and laughing also.
Yeah. These cops are no bullshit. They're not buying into that. And Captain Spaulding says she was with a bunch of kids asking a bunch of stupid questions about tired old Dr. Satan bullshit. And he says he wrote them a map, but they probably got themselves lost. Captain Spaulding makes a show at this point of thinking real hard. He scratches his temple. It's like,
Right.
well, no, I don't rightly know.
Yeah.
They wasn't here long enough for me to get up close and personal with them like I do most assholes that come wandering right in here. So the cop tells him to write the same directions that he gave them. And Spaulding says, all right, don't get all True Grit on my ass. I'll
Right.
do it for you, whatever.
Don't want to get his ass stomped, you know?
Yeah. Here's where we go to a weird cut scene of the skunk ape scene.
Mm-hmm.
There's like crazy negative camera footage and just this dude talking about, oh, the skunk ape had impure relations with my wife, whatever. I don't know what the fuck this is about at all.
So isn't skunk ape something about Bigfoot?
Maybe. It makes sense.
I think so. So right away, I was kind of chuckling at the whole thing. Like, is this guy saying Bigfoot fucked my wife?
Maybe.
He had impurations of my wife. And I'm like, why was your wife out in the woods, bro? Having sex with Bigfoot.
Yeah. But it almost also seems like it's a dream sequence because after this, like, Denise wakes up dressed like a doll, which is kind of hot, but extremely creepy. Tiny comes in with a shirt that says cheap ass Halloween costume. It's fucking pretty great. It is Halloween, by the way. We did have a graphic that said it's now Halloween Day. Tiny walks in with a fucking tray of breakfast and it's got a box on the side, or it's got a box on it that says Agatha Crispies.
Yeah. Well, he's also eating out of a fucking dog food bowl, dude.
He is, but the Agatha Crispies got me, dude. That's so good. He tries to feed Denise, but she doesn't want any part of that shit, so she turns her head away. And he starts eating it in the most disgusting fucking way possible. He's just like splashing the spoon up to his face and just...
This is just kind of showing...
slurping up whatever he fucking can.
There was no nothing. There was no school. There was no anything to kind of
no
learn.
one to teach him any sort
Right.
of...
He's eating out of, like, literally, he's eating out of a giant dog food bowl, you know? Yeah, he was never shown anything, you know?
Right. But he does have manners in some capacity because she begs him to let her go, and holy shit, immediately he does.
Yeah, and I love that, too. She's like, hey, can I just go home, please? He's like,
Yeah, totally.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I like the wave at the end.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to go.
He unties her immediately. She fucking gets up. She's like, I'm just going to go home now. And yeah, he does this little like waves bye-bye to her.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, Tiny, I don't know. I feel like we kind of get that from Leatherface here and there. You know, like, you don't know.
Tiny is absolutely the Leatherface of this movie.
He's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Otis, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is not going to fucking let you go. You know?
Speaking of which, here he fucking comes, jump scares her, says, where the fuck you're getting to? Throws her in a cage, and when he throws her in here, 3 other women immediately attack her. What the fuck is this about?
That's what I said. This is like a mutant situation.
Yeah.
You know? It's goofy. It's throwing off the story.
So to reel it back in a little bit, we go back to the cops. They find the car and they call it in. We come back to the Firefly house and Jerry is tied up in a chair next to a dope-ass creature from the Black Lagoon wall.
Shit, yeah.
Dude, this thing is sweet.
Fuck yeah.
Baby comes in wearing a cheerleader outfit and says, hey, Poopy Pants, what's new? She goes, you want to play a guessing game? Guess what number I'm thinking of, and holds some scissors in his face. He says, eat shit and die, and she cuts a piece of his hair off. And he starts freaking out about that. But she's like, please be quiet. I don't want to slip. When she slips into this, dude, it made me extremely uncomfortable. She's really good at throwing out the crazy, you know?
Yeah, I did not like that at all. And she, like, what do you mean fucking slip? You're cutting his hair off. And right away I was like...
Right.
Ooh.
No, Baby is fucking crazy and kind of awesome.
Yeah, I love Baby.
Yeah. She shoves his own hair in his face, and then she has one more question. She goes, if you get this right, I'll let you go. If you get it wrong,
You're fucked.
you're fucked.
You're fucked.
She goes, who's my favorite movie star? And he says, Marilyn Monroe. She goes, nope, Betty Davis, and just fucking scalps his ass from back to front.
Oh, gross.
Oh my God.
Fucking gross.
We go back to the cops looking through the car, and Houston says something about what could these kids have done to bring this much hell down on them. And the other cop finds some keys, and Sheriff says, well, don't just stand there like some prize dog, Dick. Open the trunk. And originally I thought he was saying some prize dog Dick, but no, his name is Dick. He's Richard.
Yeah, some prize dog, Dick. Give me the fucking keys.
But inside the trunk that they open up, there's a naked girl tied up with trick or treat etched into her flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to another Otis video. He says, people come and people go, but how many ever really stop to take a look at the underbelly of the beast? I make them stop. I make them look. Hope you like what you see. Hope you like what you see. He starts yelling it all over the place.
Right.
Does a little like Elvis snarl. Otis then throws a knife at Jerry tied up on the wall with his hair all fucking looking like Cynthia from the Rugrats.
It's what's left of the scalping, which
Right.
actually looks a lot better than I thought.
It does.
You know?
A lot better.
I would have thought it would have been raw.
Yeah,
you know?
just a bloody fucking, yeah.
It looked like somebody shaved his
Plain
head,
of
kind
scalp.
of. I mean, he's missing hair, but it's not a...
It's not what we
It's not
saw.
an open...
It's not what we saw start to happen when she started cutting his fucking scalp
Right,
off. It
yeah.
looked like she was pulling that shit all the way off. But Otis and Grandpa are watching the Munsters. They get into a little bit of an argument.
Put me behind the wheel of that thing. I'll show you driving.
Yeah, he says, you couldn't even fit your fat ass behind the wheel
Right.
of that thing. Don't start with me, Hugo. They're fucking
Love it.
at each other.
Yeah.
And we go back to the cops. The mechanic leans against the cop car, and Dick ends up yelling at him. And apparently now the plan is the chief called in that they need to pick up an ex-cop to help him out. And Dick says, well, I just hope he doesn't get in my way, which is understandable.
I agreed. That was my first thing was, how much did he do? You're just allowed to ride along for a murder case?
Right.
Fuck out of here.
Right.
But regardless, it made good movie. Yeah,
Right.
I was like, this old 70-year-old guy is going to help out.
Well, it also turns out that cop is Denise's dad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It turns out the body in the trunk was that of Karen Murphy. And the cops are talking about the whole case, and they say that the kids were on their way up to an area the locals called Deadwood, and they wanted to play Nancy Drew with this local legend, talking about Dr. Satan again. That's where we get the weird video of Louis Dover talking about you're in hell.
Right.
A bunch of negative camera footage of the cops driving up to the Firefly house fades into regular footage, and it's kind of cool, honestly. Wydell knocks on the front door, and Dick and Donald check around outside. Mama comes up to warn Otis that there's cops outside, and he says something about, oh, fucking pigs always travel in packs.
Yeah. I'll head out back and I'll take care of it.
Right. He gives her a gun, and he goes, go downstairs and play nice. I'll head around back and take control like I fucking always do. He tries to get Grandpa's attention again as he walks out, and Grandpa flips him off. Dick and Don walk in the back. Hundreds of women's shoes both piled on the floor and hanging from the ceiling. This is fucking weird.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Straight serial killer shit.
Yep.
You know? There's no way that all the women in this house have that many shoes. And if they do, they ain't in a pile out back, you know?
Yeah.
Red flags.
There's a dog that jumps out and spooks Dick. He pulls his gun on it. And
I fucking love this.
Donald is immediately like, all right, calm down, Barney. He's like, hey, don't even start with me with that Mayberry shit. I was attacked by a Cocker Spaniel when I was 8 years old.
Right? Big teeth.
This is about the time Mama opens the door with her tits hanging out and says, why, hello, officer. How you doing? She says she'll tell him anything he wants to know. Dick explains to Donald in the back that it was a big Cocker Spaniel with big teeth almost bit off my pinky toe.
Yeah.
And then they walk through this area with a bunch of like Christmas stockings hanging up. And meanwhile, at the front, Mama doesn't want to let Lieutenant Wydell in, right?
Right.
But she finally does. And she goes, I guess I can trust you being a man of the law and all. So finally, Dick and Don bust open a shed out back. And all the cheerleaders, dead and bloodied up, corpses are hanging around inside. There's like at least 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a gory ass scene. It's just there's chains fucking laying around.
Yeah.
Everybody's naked, you know?
Yeah, for the most part, anyway.
Yeah, there's just, I'm pretty sure Mary, or something. Is it not Mary? Is it one of the
I'm
cheerleaders?
not sure if it's Mary or not.
It's not Mary. It's one of the cheerleaders.
Whoever it is, it looks like one of them's not quite dead yet. She's the only one making any movements in there. And then there's this creepy old song that starts playing, which is exactly Rob Zombie's style, first of all.
Yeah, it's I Remember You by Slim Whitman.
Yeah.
That's
got a bunch of yodely shit going on in it.
Yeah. He was a 50s folk singer, once known as America's favorite folk singer. Yeah, he was well known from that era.
Right. Meanwhile, up front, as this song kicks in, which brings a really strange energy and an uncomfortable energy onto everything, because I feel like it's the juxtaposition between what we're seeing, which is all fucked up, and then this music, which is happy as shit.
Right.
At the same time.
The violence versus the calm and...
Right.
Yeah, because right away, they kick that door open. They see everybody in there. Immediately, he's calling back to Sheriff Wydell, hey.
Who's busy inside flirting with mama.
Right, yep. Getting a good look at her tits,
Right.
And, as he's chiming to him, Mother Firefly pulls out the gun, shoots him like in the neck kind of area.
Yeah, straight through the middle of his fucking neck.
Yeah,
sideways.
Like spine
horizontally.
area. Like he's shot in the head, but he's shot in the neck too.
Yeah.
Enough to kill him.
Which, at that point, Donald runs away, Denise's dad, and then gets shot in the chest by Otis.
Right.
And there's an interesting little scene there where his life kind of flashes before his eyes. We get a bunch of shots of his family.
Yeah, like Christmas time.
Right.
Yeah, it's
a bunch of that shit.
It's fucked up.
But then he falls face down in a fucking puddle, which that's not a great way to go.
Right.
Otis at this point comes out and makes Dick raise his hands up above his head. And first of all, I'd like to point out that Otis looks terrible in the sunshine.
Oh, fuck yeah. He ain't ever been outside, dude.
God damn.
People say pale. Shit. He's translucent, dude. You can see his veins, dude. He's not. He's beyond white.
Right.
It's so gross.
And he looks wet.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He's constantly, greasy.
Well,
like
you
Billy
Yes,
Loomis.
greasy, like wet.
Like, you know they ain't got central air in that bitch.
Oh, no. 1,000% no.
Right. It's hot as fuck in there.
But Otis comes out and makes Dick get on his knees. There's this fucking amazing scene. Oh, my God. As much as I like to talk shit about Rob Zombie movies sometimes, he's got moments of sheer brilliance.
Yeah, you're talking about the draw out in the scene, right?
Yes, just this amazing scene as music fades out and the camera zooms out extremely slowly, just in complete silence. And then it holds on that forever, just like a complete 30 seconds of Otis just pointing a gun at Dick's head. And that's all we're looking at for.
I said at least 30 seconds. Yeah, it's probably longer.
It takes so fucking long.
I like it.
Yes, because it forces you, especially in a theater setting, it would have made everyone so uncomfortable.
Yeah, everybody's...
Absolutely.
Because you can't make a noise in that moment. Are you fucking kidding me? Everyone will shoot you out of that theater if you do that shit.
You know he's going to pull the trigger, but until he pulled the trigger is when I was unsure. Are we in slow-mo?
No, your asshole just puckers up.
Right, yeah.
And you just sit there until it happens.
Right.
And then it finally does. And it makes it extra heavy as Walton Goggins falls to the ground. So do your hopes for anyone involved in this situation.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, nobody's getting out.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. So we cut from that to a dusk landscape, right? Baby's all dressed sexy outside, red hot pussy lickers.
Yeah.
Her ass is completely hanging out now.
Dude, I don't know if there are stores like this, but this is a business and investment opportunity. Porn and liquor?
I mean,
porn and liquor.
Yeah. What is the Bubbles Trailer Park Boys? Didn't he have a fucking liquor and whores, liquor and whores?
Cigarettes and bologna and or something like that.
You're on. Yeah, you're on your way to it. The clerk asks if they're having a Halloween party. He's like, "You're buying a whole mess of holy water for 2 people." Baby is responding. She goes, "Well, we like to get fucked up and do fucked up shit, if you know what I mean." And she goes, "How much do I owe you, goober?" And he corrects her. He's like, "Well, it's actually G. Ober," which this is a great story.
The fucking name tag.
It's just supposed to be Jerry Ober, but they drew another O in between there to fuck with them. He tells him the damage is quite severe, $185. Baby goes, "All right, we'll keep the change and get yourself a new name, goober."
New name tag.
Mm-hmm.
Fix your shit.
There's some weird videos here of Otis wearing someone else's skin.
Shit, yeah, dude. I liked the filter over this. So at first you couldn't really tell what was going on, but she's cutting off Denise's dad's face and shit. But they put a red filter over all this, so you can kind of tell what's happening, then kind of not. And then I'm kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? And then you get the shot of him missing his face and chest, you know, and like, Jesus Christ, dude, like not even just his face. You're cutting him from his waist up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuck. Fucking yuck.
So they cut back to the Firefly family. RJ is chanting Otis's name. Baby says he's got something real special this year. He comes down wearing Denise's dad's face.
Yeah, dude.
And he starts this, like, basically call and response thing. He's like, I'm the one who brings the Christmas candy. Now tell me, who's your daddy?
Yeah.
I'm the one who brings the devil's brandy.
Who's your daddy?
I'm the one who beats you when you're bad. Do it, you're committed
your
now.
daddy?
And he walks up to Denise. He's like, come on, sweetie, give the old man some sugar.
Oh, fucking gross.
He sticks
dude.
his tongue through his lips.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And he finishes it up with, I'm the one who loves you when you're fucking dead.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, and that's when Denise kind of snaps too, because everybody's fucked up. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's bleeding.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the...
Imagine your dad standing in front of you, but it's not your dad. But then a fucking tongue sneaks through his lips to fucking... Oh, God. Oh, God. So...
Otis, you need shots.
He tells Jerry that he's going to let him meet Dr. Satan, and it's all true. He says, the boogeyman is real, and you found him.
Lucky you.
It just
you
reminded
get
me
to
of...
meet the old bastard.
All right, I hear you looking for the boogeyman, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so happens we got a hookup, man.
Right.
We're not going to check your insurance card.
So there's a shot of them at this point marching out into the field, which is pretty dope. Tiny at this point is like cranking up a coffin from this well-looking thing.
Weird ass shit's happening right now.
Yeah, Baby says to take Jerry's gag out of his mouth because it's more fun with the screaming.
Damn.
To which Mama agrees. Jerry and Mary plead, please don't kill us, all that shit. Otis says, shut your mouth and get your shit in the box. But then Mama wants to say goodbye. She grabs Jerry and plants a big-ass kiss on him and then just drops him in front of everybody.
Gross, Jerry.
Yeah, Otis pipes in then. He's like, ain't we just having a fucking hoot? Mary runs away at this point, and Baby goes to chase her down. And we get another weird Otis video of him saying something about...
Oh, dude, I love this.
Yeah.
Hunting humans? It ain't nothing but nothing. They all run like scared rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Run, rabbit, run.
Run, rabbit,
Run, rabbit,
Starts
run.
screaming that shit. Yeah.
Fucking love Otis.
So Mary runs out and trips in a field full of crosses.
To a cemetery, yeah.
Yeah. And Baby tackles her and stabs her 5 times, and then she gives a little shoo shoo, said the maiden. She's a fucking Looney Tune, dude.
Dude, she's all
Absolutely.
over the place.
Oh my God.
Love
She
it.
licks the knife after she gets done stabbing her. So she ends up locking Denise in the coffin with Jerry, and they lower them into the water, or not into the water, but above, at the bottom of the well. Otis sprinkled some dirt over them, and RJ at this point is wearing Wydell's uniform shirt.
Right. Yeah, no, he takes off into the fucking field doing donuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Tiny ends up putting the mask on Mary's face. And then there's this like distorted audio that Otis lowers into the hole above Denise and Jerry.
Dude, it's slow-mo. I don't know what's up with that. I was trying to put together what that was. Is that waking up the...
Yeah, I think it was calling to whatever these like water demons that they wake up are.
Right.
But they say something about bury me in a nameless grave, and then there's a bunch of shit that repeats on that.
Right.
And Denise ends up getting away for the moment, and Jerry screams, ends up getting got by the water creatures, whatever the fuck they are. Denise ends up running into someone in the tunnel, and she asks for help. And this dude, like, there's another one that shows up on the other side of her, so they kind of got her cornered.
Right.
And they, like, rip her rabbit costume off, so now she's back to the doll costume.
Giggity.
And that's where we get RJ speeding through the cornfield in the cop car, blasting the siren and shit. Otis looks pretty badass as this crazy, like, dark priest costume he's got going on.
Right, like his face paint and the red, he's got like a red robe on or something.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it gets very culty feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing's really explained, and that's what's so weird about it. I feel like I like these scenes, but at the same time, like, like cut out that fucking music, you know?
Right.
It's weird, you know?
Right. We cut to a shot of Tiny carrying Mary's body while Baby throws some flowers down on the ground. Denise now has to make her way through this hallway that is lined with bodies and spider webs.
Dude, the house of 1,000 corpses.
Hell yes.
But she eventually runs into a dead end. Oh, nope. Actually, the door opens and she comes into this like crazy bone cathedral. And oh shit, it's Dr. Satan. Oh my God.
Dude, I essentially looked at this as she found the doctor's office. You know? Like, there's people sitting there fucked up.
Yeah, like in
know?
a waiting room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I saw it too. Yep.
Bunch of crazy like medical experiments hanging out, fucking eating slop, whatever the fuck it is they got.
Fucking gross.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Jerry, it turns out, is the one that Dr. Satan is currently working on.
Yeah. Oh.
So we'll see what comes of that, I guess. But then what the fuck is this new guy that jumps out from the back there? Is it Bane? Bone?
No, dude.
Bone?
He's not new guy. Were you paying attention, Dusty? Hold on. I think I got one on you.
Okay.
This is Earl.
Earl?
This is Earl.
No shit.
Earlier in the movie, when
Yeah.
she was talking about
I remember her talking about
and
Earl.
there's a flashback, right?
Okay.
It flashes to that's Earl wearing the fucking mask.
Oh,
Earl, the father of the children
really?
Of Tiny
is
and
Earl.
fucking-
Yeah,
oh
is
my God.
Earl. But Earl is the first successful experiment from Dr. Satan.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah. If you pay attention and you
Okay.
go back, you might not know now. If you go back and you look, that footage is it's him wearing that because he got that weird mask.
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
like Bane.
Yep.
Like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
That's Earl.
No shit.
So
Okay.
Earl pops out, man.
Nice.
With his new fucking bionic vision, by the way.
dude, Terminator vision.
Yeah. He puts an axe through the door, and Denise runs back down the fucking body hall. The Firefly family's upstairs chanting and setting fire to the funeral pyre that they've constructed for fucking Mary.
Right.
There's a really cool split diopter shot here as they close in on a close-up of Denise's face. And then in the background is who
Earl.
you're saying is now Earl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Texas Chainsaw vibe. You get half of her face taking up the whole screen,
Yeah.
and you get her eye wandering left and right, panicky, and you got Earl in the background because you're fucked. You know? Love it.
But eventually he ends up just caving himself into the tunnel because him trying to swipe at Denise, he ends up getting a fucking support beam and everything comes
Yeah.
crashing down around everybody.
Yeah, she's slick here, man. It happened earlier. Same thing. She ducked and he hit the door, let her out.
Yeah.
Earl is just a powerhouse, and Denise is Swifty, I guess.
But Denise does get knocked out here, and we end up cutting after that to daytime. Denise wakes up, she crawls out through the ground in a very like Evil Dead sort of shot.
Hell yeah.
She ends up running out to the road and stops a car, and she stops none other than Captain Spaulding.
Old Captain driving a sick ass 50s, 60s pink
Yes.
Cadillac.
Pink Cadillac,
Yes.
dude. Holy shit.
From the look of the gas station, he couldn't afford that.
Well, she gets in the car and he goes, "Sweet baby Jesus, girl, what in the hell happened to you?" And she just goes, "I got away."
Right.
He goes, "There's a whole bunch of people been looking for your ass, girl." She goes, "I got to get to the doctor." He's like, "All right, you just sit back and relax. I'll get you to a doctor."
Oh, fuck. The doctor.
Which is the point, of course, that Otis sits up in the back seat, about to stab her, and then she wakes up again. She's tied up once again. Dr. Satan is experimenting on her, and the end? Question mark.
Yeah, she's got the same view, kind of like when it zoomed in on Jerry. You
Yeah.
see like her eyes, but you don't see much more, and you can just hear drills.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting her
Dr.
brain
Satan working
fucking
on his
worked
latest experiment
Right.
there. Yeah.
Oh, and that's such an uneasy ending.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
Well, speaking of uneasy endings, we then cut to the credits, but we have a Rob Zombie cover of Brick House. And there's a girl just moaning and begging for more the entire way through this fucking
Sick.
song. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Typical white zombie, dude.
We do eventually cut to the Run Rabbit song too. But yeah, man, fucking Finis, the end. What'd y'all think of this?
I fucking love it.
I love it too.
It's a fucking homage to Texas Chainsaw. between the Texas bullshit, between the skin graphing, I don't know how else to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shout out to one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I think Rob Zombie did a fantastic job. It's weird to think that if maybe he had more money for the original film like this compared to Devil's Rejects, what it would have been, but I think him having less money is what made it so good.
Yeah.
It's dark, it's fucked.
Partially, potentially, yeah.
It's good, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm with Jason. I love this movie too. Like, it's a great movie. I seen this in the theaters in 2003. I don't know. I just really wrapped around this movie. I love it.
Hell yeah. Personally, I gave this one 8 out of 10 fish boys. Rob Zombie is a fucking nutcase, first and foremost. But this is probably him in his prime.
Yeah.
I think so.
If you want fucked up, grotesque,
absolutely,
you could do much worse, honestly. Right. You got to be really into it in general, or at least in the right mood. But if you are, then this is a good fucking time.
Right.
I would say it's worth a watch at least once, for sure.
Yeah,
hell yeah,
absolutely.
At the very least, just to test the waters, dip your toe in that pond.
Yeah, that's my argument. This has been a rewatch for me at least a couple times a year since it came out.
Yeah,
I love it, and we talked about not wanting to really get into the Rob Zombie issues with some of his movies and how much hate it gets.
Yeah,
this is the best one, I think, overall.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. I can dig that. Anything else anyone wants to add on to the end here?
I don't think so.
No, we're good, man.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We had a great time. We hope you did too, as always. Please reach out to the show if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any suggestions on anything you'd like to see us do. Please reach out to cinebytespod@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on socials at Cinebytespod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got TikTok. We've got YouTube. Go check out all the stuff. And if you feel obliged to do so, you can support the show. Help us make it better for you at cinebytespod.buzzsprout.com. As always, everyone, remember, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Boy.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
I got all up in my mustache.
Every time.